Meep. And that's the end of my story. As I thought, everyone was staring at me with their mouths open in shock. Even Oishi wouldn't believe a story like this. That's only normal. I'm sure I sound like a crazy person. Satoko, we go to the clinic every week to help with Irie's research, right? We're not just helping him. We go there so you can get treatment. I remember you told me Satoko's ill. Me? As you said, it's not only me, but the whole village is infected with this disease. Why would I have to take a shot every day and not everyone else? I thought it was just a new type of vitamin the coach is developing. At one point, you were a terminal patient, Satoko. That's why you need 2 shots a day to keep your symptoms under control. Irie is very passionate about saving you. But he still can't find a better treatment than that. I thought you said you had a vaccine. Don't think he's not still working hard to find a cure, though. Don't joke around. I thought we were getting financial support by aiding his research. I don't want to get those shots every day for the rest of my life. Satoko looked upset that she had been completely ignorant of all this. Also, if Rika knew that it was for military purposes, why would she partake in the experiments? I mean, Satoko, yes, to help Satoko. Unless they, were like, we'll only help Satoko if you let us test you as well. She also didn't want to accept the reality of having to manage her condition. The fake laughter sadly echoed in everyone's ears. Keiichi opened his mouth to speak. So if she misses a shot, she'll react like she did the other day? There was a day when she forgot to take her shot. She convinced herself the principal was her uncle. Her fear escalated, and she thought her uncle came inside the school to take her back home. Once she feels that way, there's no turning back for her. So Satoshi was taken away because he got, to level 5 or whatever. And was probably researched on and then died. Yes, she will. That's why I tell her to be sure to take her shot every day. I don't believe you. What do you mean I'm a terminal patient? Why me exactly? I don't want to believe it. When did I ever become so sick? Satoko's face contorted as tears began to flow from her eyes. She has had the most mental trauma, which would make sense. I shouldn't have said this. Satoko's starting to remember something she's not supposed to. I'm sorry, Satoko. You don't have to remember. That was just an accident. It wasn't your fault. No, it's a lie. You're lying. The others probably had no idea what Satoko was talking about. Oh, I was right. She pushed him off the cliff. They don't need to know. They don't want to know because they're her friends. Reina gently touched Satoko's shoulder. She gently touched mine, too. We believe your story, Rika. Thank you. And you've been carrying such a heavy burden for a long time. I'm proud of you. You've been struggling all alone to this day. Oh, I never thought Reina would say something like that to me. My eyes were filling up with tears. It's difficult to have a secret that you can't tell people. Mine was hardly a big deal compared to yours. But I can still sympathize with you. I agree. You've done your best too, sis. I often shift the blame onto you to relieve myself so I can tell. You're all going to believe my story? Of course. We said we'd believe you. It's a bit of a relief since a lot of my questions about this village are answered now. So, is everyone in the village infected by that disease, that Hinamizawa syndrome? Yes, everyone is infected. But unlike hundreds of years ago, this disease is much weaker now. That's why people can survive even if they move far away or go somewhere far for a trip. But some people still get sick, right? I'll never leave this village again. Even if you do get sick, you can still control the illness yourself. It's very simple, yet very difficult. If you think you might be suspicious of someone, don't be. Continue to trust in them. When you become too suspicious of someone, that suspicion will degenerate into a persecution complex, and it will be too late. So as long as everyone stays friendly and united, we'll never have to worry about the disease. This disease starts with anxiety. I said it started that with fear, right? Modern people don't believe in curses the way people long ago did. That might be why they're more tolerant to the disease. I see! Then we should be fine! Yep. We're friends. We're family. We'd never suspect each other. I'm going to believe everything that you said today. You couldn't talk because you were afraid the mountain dogs would hurt us, right? I nodded quietly. I don't want to think the mountain dogs have bugged this room, but if Okanogi overhears this conversation, they will definitely kill not only me, but all of my friends tonight. That's true no matter who my enemy is. Well, it sounds as if Rika should get ready for battle. Let's sum up the story. Someone might come and kill you, knowing your death will cause chaos and destruction in the village. Thank you, Mion. That's all we fucking needed. Thank you. Is that correct? They'll definitely come for me. Are you sure? Will they get rid of their trump card that easily? She's right. A trump card's like a pile of gold. Isn't it better to keep your hands on it? Satoko's eyes were still swollen, but she'd stopped crying. But think about it, Satoko. If you have more than one trump card, you want to play them right away. That's true. It's more effective to have more than one hostage. One hostage is not as valuable as many of them. Anyway, we don't know anything for sure, and that means we can't be too optimistic. Everyone nodded in unison. What do you think about the mountain dogs? Do you think they're our enemies? That's not even a question. They're like wolves trying to watch after the sheep. Just think of all the suspicious people as bad guys. We need to seek help from someone who has nothing to do with Tokyo. I agree. I think you made a good choice seeking help from the police. Oishi's on our side, right? Yes. Oishi doesn't know everything yet, so he thinks that the culprit behind the curse of Oyashiro is targeting me. That's a very good point. Why would you ever trust people who demon away other people and not try to cure them? I think you should talk to Oishi too. We need help from some adults. Sure he did, you dumbass. But that's pretty risky. Whoop. What if they don't believe her and step away from the investigation? Oh, that's what you mean. We should still talk to him. He said he's going to retire this year, and that's his last chance to avenge his friend. I'm sure he'll believe any story, no matter how wild. Yeah. He helped us when we were trying to save Satoko, too. I think he'll remain on our side. Okay, let's talk to Oishi. Where is he? He's out in Gifu Prefecture. He went to check on Takano's body. Oh, she was found in Gifu, right? Burned to death inside an oil drum. Why does he have to go there directly to check on her? There's a possibility it might not be Takano, but the Gifu Police Department isn't being very cooperative. You said the mountain dogs specialize in preserving secrets and manipulating information, right? That corpse is pretty suspicious. I don't think she's the kind of person who would just die from being burnt a little. It's still possible that Irie is the bad guy and he killed Takano. That's what Okanogi tried to make me believe. I kinda doubt that coach is the mastermind. He's just not that kind of person. I agree. Also, once again, why would you trust people who literally told you they demon away people who are like level 5 and not cure them, whereas as it is trying to cure people? He's very nice as long as you don't let him talk about maids. As the manager of the Hinamizawa Fighters, I also think the coach is innocent. He's more like someone who could be easily used. Maybe he's too good of a guy. Seems like everyone suspects Takano. Well, we're just saying if we compare the coach and Takano, you know? Takano would be pretty upset to hear that. Everyone laughed as though we were in the middle of a club activity. If they're after my life, they'll kill everyone here. It's very possible they'll get involved in this mess, and they know that. That the kids still laugh is really significant, I think. I started laughing too. It's odd that Takano's body was found in Gifu. If someone wanted to make it look like she killed Tomatake, they would hide her body somewhere nobody would ever find. Burning her body in the middle of the woods, like begging people to come across it. Yeah, that makes sense. It's like they're trying to force an identified body to be Takano just because it was found outside the prefecture and the police here can't investigate further. That's the specialty of the mountain dogs, right? I think it's pretty obvious at this point. The mountain dogs are working for Takano, right? And the leader of the dogs is saying the manager is pulling the strings. I bet Takano and them are working together. Tomatake died the way he did, so Coach would be suspected. But Tokyo is the only organization who would suspect the coach. They also found the body of the true mastermind, Takano. Tokyo will suspect the manager killed both of them. I see, this is a well-planned setup. Though it's not perfect. It sounds like the mountain dogs are setting the coach up. Well, I think we should talk to Coach directly. That's the best way to go about it. That's a good idea! I can tell if he's telling the truth or not just by looking in his eyes. Yeah, you're good at that, Reina. The mountain dogs are running security on Ire right now. He might not be able to get on the phone. What? That sounds even more suspicious. I hope the coach isn't in danger right now. He ends up dying too, so... Me too. If I was a member of the mountain dogs and I was going to set him up, I'd kill him before he said something I didn't want him to say. A dead person can't say anything. Aww. Oishi will return as soon as he takes care of business in Gifu. I don't know what time that will be, but he'll be there for sure. As one, everyone glanced at the clock. It was already past 6:30 and starting to get dark. No wonder I'm so hungry. We'd usually call it here if this was a normal day, but everyone decided to stay until Oishi came back and discuss what to do. Can I use your phone, Rika? I need to call my dad and let him know I'm gonna be late tonight. I need to call my mom, too. I have to call Granny and tell her to order something for dinner. You'll be in big trouble later. We have to get something to eat for those officers, too. We can order some sushi. Oh, that sounds delicious. Everyone had a sensitive reaction to the word sushi. Their stomachs were empty after all. The same should be true of those officers, too. Are we gonna order something too, Rika? I don't feel like we'll have that kind of money. Satoko, why don't you cook a stir-fry for everyone? What? I can't. I've never cooked for this many people. Satoko's stir-fry? I'd love to try it, as long as there are no fingers inside. Satoko, I want to eat your food too! I want to! At that point, the phone rang. Hello, this is Furude speaking. Oh, glad to hear you're still alive. It's Oishi. I finished up everything in Gifu and I'm heading towards Okonomiya right now. I'm calling from the gas station. What about Takano's body? We did it, we were right. Gifu made one incredible easy mistake on their paperwork. What a stubborn bunch. I really had to let them have it, let me tell you. Takano and her vehicle are still missing. She may have some information regarding Tomatake's murder, so I issued a search warrant for her. I'm getting close to revealing the secret curse of Oyashiro-sama. I'm gonna solve this case. Oh, she sounded so motivated. He'd finally found the hint he'd so desperately wanted. Did he actually solve this case, though? I'm looking forward to hearing your story. I'm heading to your house with Kuma, so please let me tell whatever you know. I'm heading to your house with Kuma, so please tell us whatever you know. You can talk to me about anything you can think of. Yes, I'm ready to tell you about everything. Oh my, I look forward to it. I shall be there in about an hour. It sounds crowded over there. Watch the mountain dogs just blow up the whole house. Are your friends with you? Yes. Everyone came here to offer their help. I see. You got some wonderful friends. It's probably better for you to stay with them. Good way to keep criminals at bay. Right where we're heading out. I'll see you soon. Once again, or they just throw a grenade. Boom! Done. Was that Oishi? Yes. He's heading this way with the other detective. This is the first time this room will have so many people in it. How many people will it be? There's 6 of us, so 8? I do hope our floor won't break. Oh, I'm the night person. Anyu, were you listening to us? This is turning out to be very interesting. Do you think it will be different? Yes, I'm sure. This time is different. Don't say that you're sure. It would devastate you if nothing ended up changing. So, honey, you still think I'm dying today? I don't want you to die. I know what you're thinking. You don't want to believe because you don't want to be hurt. That way you'll never be let down. I'm not going to listen to your opinions anymore. You just stay there and watch like the bystander you are. Yes, I'm just a bystander. But I'm still rooting for you. Rooting for me? Thank you. But are you sure you want to root for me? Are you sure you won't be hurt if I lose? Don't be mean, Rika. We had a rather harmonious mood going. However, the feeling of unease was beginning to settle over us. What if she, like, dies of, like, choking or something? Or, like, just, like... So, like, if you guys have seen Steins Gate, like, whenever Okabe, like, gets Mayuri out of, like, danger, she always, like, dies of, like, something. Man, I'm getting hungry. Wanna grab something on the way? Oh, that's right. It's almost 8 p.m. We had a late lunch today, so I didn't realize. We can go get something after we finish hearing a story. You sent 4 officers there. They're probably pretty worn out by now. Hopefully Furude ordered them something to eat. Oishi and Kumagai had passed through Okonomiya and were getting closer and closer to Hinamizawa. They hurried on their way, driving through the dark streets. I wonder what Rika wants to talk to you about. Probably something outrageous. That village, you know, used to be called Onagafuchi. They took the name Onagafuchi, the demon's abyss, from the local swamp. And like an abyss, it's hard to know its depth, huh? What are you planning to do about her protection? Well, depending on what she tells us, we might have to move her to a safer location. The whole of Hinamizawa is like a lion's den. You never know what can happen in that village. For now, we just need to hear what she has to say. I mean, there are pro assassins. I'm not expecting them to get out of the head of the Furude family in danger, and the successor of Sonozaki family trying to protect her. Who would even be able to kill Rika under those circumstances? The only people I can think of are the Kimiyoshi family. I've never heard of them getting up to anything fishy. I guess there must be a fanatical religious sect lurking in the village. I wonder what secret lies at the bottom of that swamp. The road they were cutting through the rice fields, leading them to pass by the scene of Jiro Tomatake's murder. Takano left Tomatake there. I'm sure of that, but I wonder what he actually died of. Forensics didn't find any drugs in his system, did they? See, they didn't find drugs in his system, so it's supernatural. Thank you. They didn't find anything, but that don't prove it out of the way. There are hundreds of strange chemicals in this world. There's no proof that drug wasn't used. It must just be one we're not aware of. I'm sure of that. There must be some kind of drug out there that can make someone fly out their throat and die. I'm gonna grill the culprit about it once I make the arrest. Of course, it would be easier if that's what Rika's gonna tell me. Kuma, you must have learned exactly how false charges are made, seeing what happened in Gifu today. Ha! That was horrible. If that guy was at our station, I'd never forgive him. He flat out refused to admit he made a mistake. The Gifu Police Department as a whole is still convinced that body belongs to Mio Takano, but we'll operate under the assumption that she lives. The top of the department will finally make the final decision. It's obvious they made a simple mistake. They're just desperately covering it up because they'll be in trouble if they admit it. That's so stupid. Probably wouldn't happen. They really need to rethink their attitude. The car suddenly shook. Oh, okay. The car, I'm expecting these two to get, like, assassinated. Okay. The concrete road had ended, leading only to gravel. At that point where the gravel road begins, you're officially in Hinamizawa. They continued to drive through the woods for a while. Kuma, stop the car. What? Oh, she told them to stop immediately. Kumagai quickly slammed on the brakes. Their seatbelts tightened up, keeping them in their seats. What's wrong? That car over there. I wonder what it's doing. Or she tapped on the rearview mirror. There was a van parked just off the road. Rather beat up, it looked like it was used for private company. Oh no. There was no reason for someone to park their car here, especially at this time of night. Kumagai also thought it looked suspicious. The car seemed empty, but there was a light flashing in the woods nearby. Probably a flashlight. Strange that a van's out here at this hour. I'm surprised you even saw it. Like I keep telling you, a detective always has to pay attention to his surroundings. I wonder what he's doing there. Is it dumping something illegally? Is it dumping someone's body? Maybe it's a pair of lovebirds on a secret date? Well, that can't be it, judging by the van. Hello, Okonomi Security, you read me? Good evening and good night. This is Okonomi Security reading you loud and clear. I need a license number scanned. XXXX. That's XXXXX. It might take a while. We'll wait. Oshi, according to this map, there's a facility of Nippon Telegraph and Telephone Corporation here. What in the world is a facility of the NTT? It was listed as a facility, but it wasn't staffed. It was just a place where machines were installed. Kumagai wasn't sure how telephones lines actually work, but either way, it seemed like some kind of connecting device was located there. But that's just an ordinary van. It doesn't look like it belongs to the NTT. If it's them, shouldn't their name be on the van? Maybe some other company's contracted to do it? Anyway, we should just go ask. Or she wasn't sure if that was the case. After all, why would any phone company go to do maintenance so late? Let's go and check on what's going on. Oh, they're gonna get killed. Food is waiting up for us. We need to be fast. Yes, sir. His well-honed detective instincts was trying to tell him something. This feeling wasn't one that Oishi could easily explain. He has a strong sense that something was suspicious without any real reasoning behind it. Oishi trusted that he could judge others' characters with that sense. Nightingale 2 to Nightingale 1. A vehicle has stopped nearby.
2 people got out. They're probably police officers. They're approaching and will make contact in less than a minute.
It was pitch black, yet they could see the 2 newcomers clearly. There were people using a night vision scope.
Roger, roger. Attention all units. Nightingales 2 through 5 wait for the green light. Nightingales 7 and 8 make sure surrounding 100 meters are clear. Roger. Nightingale 4 and 5, do you copy? Nightingale 4, roger. Nightingale 7, roger. Nightingale, roger. This is Nightingale from HQ. Nightingale from HQ. There's been some trouble during the modification of the facility. There are 2 police detectives. We requested clearance to open fire.
I told you.
Roger, roger. Wait for the order.
Told you. By the time Oishi and Kumagai reached the phone facility, they were being watched from all directions. There were 2 pairs of binoculars, 2 sniper rifles pointing at them. Why does it have to be some fucking army thing? Okay. The Mountain Dog operatives worked in 2-man units, a sniper, spotter, to secure the means of retreat. They had all taken different positions so that they could shoot Oishi no matter where he tried to run. They were all in camouflage suits, hiding deep in the woods. Oishi, of course, had no chance of spotting them. The snipers had their rifles trained on the detectives' heads. Oishi and Kumagai had no idea that they were on the verge of losing their very lives. The sniper rifles had their safeties on, but the flick of their thumb would release them. In other words, they were ready to shoot if given the order. The detectives found the fenced-in machinery right behind the parked van. There was a sign there saying it was a property of the Nippon Telegraph and Telephone Corporation as another sign to keep people away. Hello, good evening. Sorry, but could you step back? We're in the middle of a maintenance operation. There were 4 men working there wearing blue overalls. They had a toolbox open and were working on some wires. Sorry to interrupt. We're from the police. We were wondering what you guys were doing since it's pretty strange to see a van parked out here. Good evening, officers. We're almost finished here. Who are you guys? You're not from the NTT, are you? Oh, we're not, no. We're from Okanogi Electrics. Huh? Oh, sorry, I'm out of business cards. Okanogi Electrics, where's your office located? Huh? Well, it's in Okonomiya. Could you give me the phone number and address of your office? Oh, why do you want to know? You forgot the telephone number? Oishi looked at them with piercing glare. Their response was very suspicious. Usually, the vehicle of an electric company is full of various types of electrical equipment and repair tools. However, the van parked there had nothing inside, and it looked just like an ordinary car. After a company vehicle usually has the name of the company painted on it, but this one was just a plain van with no markings on it. None of that was the reason that Oishi found them suspicious, though. It was their attitude that bothered him. They didn't sound nor look like typical contractors. They were obviously not electricians. It was far too late in the day, and there were far too many of them. This was also very suspicious of Oishi. However, that was all he could tell just by looking around. He found them suspicious, but he had no idea what they were up to. One of the men told Oishi the phone number. Kumagai wrote down the number so he could ask the station to call and confirm it was real. We're not doing anything suspicious. You guys are very suspicious. Who are you? If you're really a contractor, you should have proof of that. But you don't have anything. Besides, everything about you seems off. Officer, please don't cause us any trouble. Just leave us alone. We need to finish our job here. Judging from the progress, it didn't... Well, didn't Oishi and Kumagai just call for backup? It didn't look like they'd be cleaning up anytime soon. In fact, it almost seemed like they were getting started. It's pretty obvious you're lying, son. You should have studied the role a little bit if you wanted to pretend to be an electrician. Oishi raised his voice threateningly. The members of the Mountain Dogs gradually started to look more and more annoyed.
Oishi looked over their expressions and gave them a big, wide grin. However, Oishi had no idea. He thought he could handle these suspicious people with no issues. Of course, in reality, they were horrific demons he had no chance against. Meanwhile, Kumagai was heading back to the car. He was intending to contact the police department. He was going to call the station using the radio. Then, in turn, the police department would contact the NTT. That way, it would become clear who they were really dealing with.
HQ to Nightingale 1. You have permission to fire. Nightingale 7, clear! Nightingale 8, clear!
The sniper was still aiming at Kumagai's head as he headed back towards their car. The safety, that last line protecting Kumagai's life, was disengaged. The sniper put his finger on the trigger. He's wearing a glove with the fingertips cut out. The finger poking through the hole was rough and merciless. For as soon as he slightly moved that finger, he would take someone's life.
Nightingale 1 to sniper team, all green.
Kumagai heard a quiet noise. It was similar to the sound of a jump rope he used to hear when used to use as a whip when he was little. And that was the last thought Kumagai had in this world. Kumagai collapsed onto the gravel. That was it. He didn't even twitch. Oishi was laying on his back on the concrete after getting shot in the chest. His lungs were filled with blood, which began to pour out of his mouth. Oishi only realized that he'd been shot when the world began to blur before his eyes. As his world healed over, he saw a man in a work uniform leveling a gun at him. It didn't matter anymore as he started drowning on his own blood.
This is Okonomiya Security. We've scanned the license plate number.
Detective Oishi? Detective Oishi, please come in.
Huh?
Did we lose a signal or something? Detective Oishi, come in.
He's not answering. Oishi wanted a plate number scanned? Whose car was it? It's just a villager's car. No one special. Who is it? It must be someone suspicious if Oishi's asking about them. It really seemed like nobody out of the ordinary. No accidents, no tickets. He probably got pissed off after the car passed him or something. He can be a pretty stubborn guy sometimes.
This is Nightingale. Both targets are eliminated. Resuming the mission. Roger! Be sure to dispose of their vehicle. Major, Nightingale determined two officers. They're resuming a mission.
Sweet dreams, Oishi. Too bad he was getting so close to catching me. Can I get a cup of coffee?
Absolutely. This is getting complicated. There are still several officers at Ari's house, and her friends are there as well. Ari must know she's getting murdered tonight. Someone is leaking information. I think we should postpone the plan.
We have to have a corpse by tomorrow. That's what's most convenient for the people in charge.
We have to execute this mission tonight. The crucial part of this final mission was the death of Rika and what came after that. They couldn't just kill her whenever they wanted. Doing it at the right time was vital. Maybe she's panicking at the dog's excessive security?
No, it's not the information is being leaked. She's predicting it. She knew Tomotake was going to die, and she even knew how my body was going to be found. She's the queen. She's the genuine heir to the blood of Oyashiro-sama, her priestess, and the queen positioned at the top of Hinami's that was supernatural phenomena. Thank you, Takano. I still hate you, but thank you for calling it a fucking supernatural phenomenon, not some stupid science bullshit. Thank you. Thank you. It's impossible to hide things from God. Assassinating Rika won't be easy. Alright, Rika. Let's see which one deserves to inherit the legend of Oyashiro-sama. Your death will be the final curse of Oyashiro-sama and mark the finale of this legendary village. When that happens,
My plan will become the real curse. I really don't see how Rika and I mean Keiichi's awesome, but I don't see how his power of speech can hold up against snipers. I mean, there's probably snipers positioned around our house right now.
It was now past 8 p.m. Mian ordered some noodles for us, her treat. We also ordered some food for the 4 officers, and we all ate together. We were supposed to call it a night as soon as we talked to Oishi, but he's still not here. However, we all took it easy, assuming he'd get here sooner or later. It's getting late. Once you get to Hinamizawa, there aren't many places to get something to eat. I'm sure they're having a quick dinner before coming here. However, the 4 officers seem anxious. They all had families, but Oishi didn't tell them how late they'd have to be here. They're hoping Oishi will bring other officers to relieve them so they could go home. They called the station, but all they said was that Oishi was on his way, and we should wait because he'll be here soon. That Oishi sure is late!
I'm sure he's stuck in traffic. It's still rush hour. Those officers have been here since afternoon, right? They must be tired by now. I know. It sucks they don't even know when they can go home. Should we patrol outside so they can get some rest? We can have Satoko set up traps to prevent strangers from coming in here. Oh, good thinking, Shion. However, just think this is our house. We already have several traps set up around the place.
Really? We should be careful when we're around here. With our stomachs full, the mood had returned to a light-hearted one. True, we shouldn't be so relaxed, but knowing that Oishi would be here shortly made us feel relieved. But he's so late. He said he'd be here in an hour. Mion mentioned he might have gotten stuck in traffic, and I'm sure Oishi was considering that. That's why he told me it'd take him about an hour. And it had now been 1 hour since the time Oishi was supposed to get here. I want to believe he got something to eat on the way, but I'm starting to get worried.
I mean, if they have snipers, can't they just shoot her through the window?
Oishi still hasn't shown up. It's almost 11. The officers are completely exhausted. They hadn't even started to smoke cigarettes outside.
Oh, that's definitely what exhaustion is.
My friends are becoming tired too. Satoko's yawning. It's way past our bedtime. Everyone else is getting tired and sleepy. We've been spending our time watching TV and reading manga. I can feel my fear succumbing to sleepiness. Today is almost over. I'm going to survive the day I'm supposed to die. Does that mean I escape my deadly fate? No. I have to fight endlessly from tomorrow on. I was going to discuss that with Oishi. Since he's not here, I don't know what to do from this point. Suddenly, the phone rang, breaking the silence.
Is that Oishi?
Hello, this is the Furude residence.
I'm sorry to call you this late. This is Komiyama calling from Okonomiya Police Department. By any chance, is Detective Oishi there with you?
No, we've been waiting for him for a long time.
I see. We'll send out more officers, so will you tell the ones there that they can leave once the relief comes?
Okay, I'll do that. So where is he?
We got a call from him this evening. He was saying heading directly there, so we thought he'd be with you already. The officers were supposed to return after Oishi arrived, but they haven't come back, so we were wondering what was going on.
That's what I'd like to know, but arguing with the man on the phone wouldn't accomplish anything. I hung up and gave the message to the officers downstairs. It looked like everyone already heard our exchange on the phone.
I wonder what's going on. He did. He's way too late. Maybe he ran into some important case he had to take care of.
You would have called us if so. He told us he was on his way. I think he'd call if something was going on.
Was he attacked by Tokyo? No way. But if they are as scary as Rika told us, it might be possible. He probably has something to take care of. I bet he forgot to call us. Remember, he's tough. No one could take him down that easily. I do hope he gets here soon. It's been like 4 hours.
Oh, Coco yawned. Everyone laughed, but some of them are trying not to yawn themselves. We can't stay up forever. We decided to call it a night once the replacement officers arrived. I'm sure I've survived past the time I was supposed to die. That's probably because the police were protecting me. Perhaps both Takano and the mountain dogs are also on my side and they took care of the murderer. I don't know who's changing my fate. Maybe my fate hasn't been changed, and I'm going to get killed soon anyway. I don't know if it's because of the police or because of the mountain dogs, but the only thing I know is I'm still alive. Soon, I heard the noise of someone walking on the gravel in the shrine grounds. One of my friends suggested it might be Oishi, but I doubt it. I don't want to expect him and be disappointed when it's not. I'm starting to think like Hanyu.
Good evening, I'm Komiyama. I'm from the Okonomi Police Department.
It wasn't Oishi. 2 of his fellow detectives had arrived instead. They were going to stay downstairs and have the 4 officers return home. They also told my friends to leave.
We'll stay here to protect her, so please go home. Your families must be worried about you.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Oh, she's gonna die now.
The detectives are here, so I'm okay now.
Are you sure? We'll stay here tonight if you like.
I'm fine. Besides, I don't have any extra pajamas and blankets for you guys. See you tomorrow, then! We'll try and stay with you as much as we can from now on. How about we do club activities here after school?
That would be wonderful.
Meep. My floor might break with all the people here.
It really might break.
Well, Rika, we're going home, but be careful. Don't go out alone in dark under any circumstances. I'll be careful. Alrighty! See you tomorrow! Uh-huh. See you tomorrow.
She's definitely gonna die.
See you tomorrow. Am I really gonna see them tomorrow? I have no clue. I've tried so many things over the past 100 years. I've done many things. I have memories of most of them. That's why I feel so scared on the day I die. It's the only day I have no memory of. I don't even know if I'm approaching or escaping my death right now. All I know is that this fear is gonna continue until I find some kind of solution. As I started to get ready to go to bed, Satoko suggested I should sleep in my regular clothes rather than my pajamas. She was thinking I should remain dressed just in case someone tries to attack me in my sleep.
I don't think being in your regular clothes or pajamas would make any difference, but okay.
It sounded ridiculous, but she was just trying to be considerate. I decided to do what she told me. Satoko seemed so sleepy until minutes ago, but she started passionately explaining to me all the traps she set on the shrine grounds. She assured me that strangers will end up trapped if they try to sneak inside the building. Someone else, it might sound like she was trying to brag, but Satoko was trying to make me feel better. After everyone else left, she noticed how scared I looked. Satoko's kindness and everyone else's kindness. I feel like it was the right decision for me to talk to my friends, even if that won't end up changing my fate. Rika! Hanyu showed up again. She looked upset and was probably thinking I'd get killed at any minute. But I'm actually starting to feel a little better. I might get killed tomorrow, but I feel like I can rest safely at least tonight. I'm more concerned about the fact that Oishi didn't show up. Still, even if he didn't, the other detectives are here and will stay on guard downstairs without sleeping. As long as they're here, I think I'll be safe tonight. What's wrong? Are you hungry? I didn't eat anything sweet today. Do you want me to drink some juice? Hanyu would usually cheer right up when I started drinking some juice, but not this time. Her face looked pale, as if she wasn't even alive. Something out of the ordinary had clearly happened. What's wrong? Oh, sorry, wrong. What's wrong? It's almost time.
That gave me shivers. Oh.
That sounded far more like a declaration than a prediction. Even Hanyu doesn't have many memories of my death. There's no way she can tell when I will be killed. However, she sounded so certain just now. Perhaps we can feel it in the very cells of our body. Our bodies understand fate far better than we do. Up until now, I felt reassured that we could get through it somehow if we're all together. But as I clung to that life preserver with the whole leaking air, I was starting to drown in a sea of despair, struggling to keep my head above water. No, I can't let myself feel that way. I have to believe. It's okay, Hanyu. I'm going to fight. Even if I killed tomorrow, I'm not going to die tonight. Hanyu just gave me a look of faint sadness. That silence told me my pitiful hope was going to push me down into a futile reality. I stared at Satoko as she continued to brag about her traps. If I'm getting killed shortly, Satoko won't be safe either. I quickly interrupted her talk about traps. The time was 1 in the morning.
Well, technically it's tomorrow.
As it's hardly a big city, 1 a.m. in Hinamizawa is the middle of the night. The darkness here gets very deep. There was light leaking out from the first floor where the 2 detectives sat on guard, but everything else was pitch black. Even the moonlight seemed indistinct.
It's time. 2 detectives are downstairs. It's been more than an hour since the lights went out above them, awaiting orders to begin the attack.
What a beautiful night. You have permission to engage.
Shall we terminate the detectives?
Yes. Everyone in the Furure Shrine will be demoned away tonight. It's better that way.
HQ to Phoenix. Commence the mission. Terminate the 2 detectives. You do not have permission to fire. I repeat, you do not have permission to fire your weapons. HQ to Nightingale. Phoenix has commenced the mission. Shut down the phone lines. Roger. Shutting them down.
I don't know how Rika's supposed to fight against an assassination organization. I really don't. It doesn't seem like it's possible. Alright, but whatever. They'd just been working to disable the phone lights, just in case their target tried to contact the police during the attack. That mission was what Oishi happened to bump into. Let's begin. Phoenix 1 to all units. Be prepared when you enter. Terminate the 2 detectives on the first floor and the 1 companion on the second. Do not leave any evidence. Do not fire weapons. Do not use gas. Use your tasers. Remember, they have guns. Do not let them fire. Come on, don't embarrass me, Okunogi. Just doing my job. Phoenix 7, 8, advance forward. Backup team, secure the perimeter. Roger. We're heading in now. The 2 men in the uniform slowly approached the building. The mountain dog's uniform is gray, so it didn't blend in with their surroundings at all. However, it doesn't look as suspicious as real camouflage suits. Of course, they look suspicious enough creeping up to the house like that anyway. They could both see the light leaking from the door and hear the voices of the detectives. Rika would typically use the sliding door to get inside. The door was locked, but the mountain dogs had obtained a spare key a long time ago. They put the key in the keyhole, but it wouldn't go in smoothly. They were certain it would make some kind of noise when they turned it. The detectives would notice them the minute that they did that. They'd have to rush inside and defeat them in one swift burst. Phoenixes 7 and 8 glanced at each other.
This is Phoenix 7. We arrived at the target location, waiting for your command.
Chicano here. Make it nice and clean. Go ahead.
Roger. We're breaking in.
He turned the key in a hurry and opened the lock. By the time the detectives turned around, the door was open and the 2 mountain dogs had stepped inside. They'd aimed the weapons at the detectives while the latter was still turning around. In a fight like that, the first 2 seconds are the most crucial moments.
Ugh!
The detectives collapsed, making minimal noise. There were needles stuck in their bodies, and those needles were connected via wires to the attackers' guns. In other words, the weapons those 2 had weren't ordinary guns. They were stun guns in the shape of firearms. Instead of bullets, they shot out electric needles that electrocute their victims into unconsciousness. Normally, they would be non-lethal weapons that allow the shooter to capture their victim without harming them much, but their tasers had been modified. But in the next moment, they heard a loud noise above them.
This is Phoenix 10. Our and our companion have noticed us. They just jumped out the second-floor window. They're running into the forest. Attention, Phoenix 4 and 5. They're heading your way. Capture them. Roger, let's go. Oh, shit.
Phoenix 4 spotted the 2 girls and started after them, but he suddenly stepped on something hard. With a cheap-sounding explosion, the area was filled with smoke. That was the trap Satoko had set using her firecrackers. That had proven very fortunate idea. Come here, little kitty. Oh, it's Japanese. Oh, why is it Japanese? How'd you do that, Nami? To iu koto ga karishita. How did you do that? How did you do that? How the heck did you switch the language? I mean, not the... Oh, there we go. Seriously, how did you do that? That's amazing. The mountain dogs dropped to the ground, assuming that they were under fire. That gave Rika and Satoko a chance to escape.
Who are they? Are they the organization from Tokyo we were talking about?
I think so. Just run! We're dead if they catch us.
What's going on? What was that noise? This is Phoenix 5. Someone was shooting at us. Ours escaped. We'll continue the pursuit.
Shit! There were just some firecrackers. Damn it!
That must be Satoko's handiwork. She's pretty good.
What?
Hurry up! Don't let them escape inside someone's house.
This is Phoenix 18. I've spotted the target. I need some backup.
They know this area very well. If we don't get them now, we'll definitely lose them.
This wasn't a game of hide and seek. It was a game of tag. Several men in uniform were chasing after Rika and Satoko. They weren't idiots, so they didn't waste energy on futile acts of shouting, "Wait!" This was quite quiet, deadly game of tag in the middle of the night.
Where are we going?
Let's split up and try to shake them off. We'll meet at Mi's house. Her basement will be safe. We can contact the police from there. Satoko?
In the basement. The torture room.
Satoko had no idea that Mian had a basement in her house, but she didn't have time to ask anything under this circumstances. All she did was nod. The next moment, I felt my left foot catch on something and I fell to the ground. I must have tripped on a rock or a piece of concrete.
Rika!
Get out of here, Satoko! You'll be killed! But Satoko wouldn't move on without me. She came back to lend me a hand. I stood up without her help, but this cost us too much time. One of the men had almost caught up with us. I didn't know what to do, but Satoko, upon seeing him, quickly reacted.
Satoko ran towards him and kicked him with all her might. Her foot landed right in his face. I wish I had a camera. But there were 2 more of them right behind the first man. I can see them clearly now. They're the gardeners from the landscape company. They're wearing the same uniforms Okanogi's always wearing. They must be the mountain dogs. Now I'm certain Takano's the culprit. And now that I know that, I can do something about it in the next world. But if I die now, will I lose my memory again? I can't die now. I need to survive so I can keep my memories. Satoko took something out of her pocket and threw it at them. It was something like sand and it blinded them. However, even that could only buy us a few seconds. Satoko tried to run, but she froze as soon as they aimed their weapons at us. Their stun guns are only shaped like firearms. Satoko, not knowing that, thought they were real guns. Knowing that, she'll be shot if she turned and ran, Satoko tried to attack instead. Of course, there are 3 of them. Most would think it's impossible to drive them off, but Satoko didn't think about that. She had a 100% chance of dying if she tried to run. Then she might as well fight back, because she might have a 1% chance of defeating them. Satoko was determined to save me, even at her own expense. I can't stay in this world if it means losing Satoko. I'm dying anyway. I'd rather die for Satoko's sake than lose her. But another me was shouting in my mind. If I don't survive this, I'll lose my memory. If I die without keeping this memory, this life and everything I've learned will be wasted. Should I escape and leave Satoko behind? That's right. I should use this experience to my advantage in my next life. I should just let go of her in this world. No, that really would make me a witch. But I know in my heart, there's no way I can win against these guys. I'm sure their backup will get here if we take our time to fight them. Should I fight them for her? Or leave so I can confront my true enemy?
Oh! Leave.
Hey! 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 No! I wanted to go back! No!
Maybe there wasn't it didn't matter.
Satoko! Satoko bravery gives me courage. If I left her, I'd lose my motivation to defeat fate. I don't care if I lose my memories. If it only took 100 years for me to get this information, I don't care if I have to spend another 100 years in the same June. I can't leave Satoko. Satoko! I'm fighting too! Rika? I told you to go! I had noticed something. They're only aiming at Satoko. There must be a reason why they can't shoot me. So I stood in front of Satoko to protect her. Just as I expected, they put their guns down and prepared to take us out without weapons. You guys are the mountain dogs, so Takano's behind this? I'm so stupid. I know who you are, but I chose not to run. I'm not going to run, even if you're going to kill me now. Someone once told me that fate can be destroyed as easily as a piece of paper. They must think this is my final speech. They let me talk until I was finished. You people are pathetic. That's why you will never kill me. The next moment, one of them dropped to the ground. KTS ran towards him and kicked him from behind. KT kicked him right in the small of the back, and the dog was squirming on the ground. The other one, too, tried to retaliate, but they were too late. Man grabbed one of the guy's arms from behind and flipped him onto the ground. It must be some kind of martial art. I've seen something like that in an action movie before. Reina tried to push the remaining dog down with all her strength, but that wasn't enough to take him out. He tried to aim his gun at Reina, but she had already done what she was supposed to do. All she needed to do was get his attention. Shion snuck up behind him and she fired her stun gun into the back of his neck. The stun gun made a snapping noise and the dog fell down to the ground with the rest of his friends.
Wow. Kasai told me this was illegally modified. It works pretty well. Shion, hit this guy too. Are you guys okay? That was close. You ran so fast it took us a lot of time to catch up. I'm really glad we stuck around. We were waiting out here in case anything happened. You mean you stayed out here without going home? Yeah. I saw someone who looked suspicious staring at the shrine when we were leaving. I'm really surprised you saw him in this darkness. Neither lies nor camouflage work on you, huh? So figuring he would leave if they spoke to him, they secretly staked out the suspicious man. They'd started following us as soon as they heard the sound of the firecrackers. I never expected I'd be safe like this. We can't stay here any longer. What should we do now? We were trying to get to Mion's house. You have a basement there, apparently. Oh, the underground storehouse? That's a perfect spot. We've also got some weapons inside there. Shh! Don't say that out loud! Anyway, I think it's a good idea. There's several secret passages in there so we can get the drop on them. Come on, let's go! They're still after us. A white van was approaching us at high speed. It obviously belonged to the mounted dogs. The van stopped not far from us and more people in uniform jumped out. There were at least 6 of them. If we all run, the slowest runner might get caught. So we should take them down when we can. I don't know if they have a license, but Mion and Shion know how to drive a car. We can take their van and get away from here. There's 6 of them. That's perfect. Let's beat them unconscious and steal their van. I'm having a hard time picturing... Okay, all of them are girls except for Keiichi. Not saying... I believe that Shion and Mion would probably be able to take out grown adult men because they're, like, crazy and being trained in weird things, but... Satoko? No. And maybe Keiichi, but still. Oh, that's a good idea. Let's go get them. The mountain dogs were ready to chase us. They had no idea we would try and attack them instead. Also, I know I'm ruining the mood here with my logic here, but don't they have like snipers and they had absolutely no problem taking out Oishi and what's his name? Oh, Kuma. So why would they not just kill these guys? Reina's always the first one to make a move in this kind of situation. She gets so determined once the decision is made. She immediately singled out one dog and punched him in the nose. Another one tried to grab her from behind, but Keiichi kicked him in the side as hard as he could. Hey Reina, watch your back! I'll leave that to you, Keiichi! Please look after me! I'm kind of curious what you were like back in Ibaraki. You sure don't hesitate to punch people. And you don't hesitate to zap people with an illegal stun gun. Given that Shion had a stun gun, the mountain dogs were reluctant to go after her. They were scared of the very dangerous weapon she had in her hand. Thanks to that, Shion had stopped them one for certain. It was fortunate for us that they didn't have any guns of their own. Which doesn't make any realistic sense whatsoever. They had no way of countering Shion's stun gun. They're an assassination organization, and we just saw them sniping Oishi. Why would they not have guns? That's like even dumber than the stupid plague, the stupid disease. No, maybe not as dumb. Satoko attacked him from behind. She encircled his neck with a jump rope and pulled. Where'd she get a jump rope? Shion followed up, quickly hitting him with her stun gun. What was I doing during all that? The only thing I can do is run around and try to get their attention. They're pursuing me after all. They want to catch me more than anything else. But that leaves them open to attacks from my friends.
Keiichi had already hit the one trying to grab me. I think we have a chance here. We may not be able to take all of them down, but we can try and find a chance to escape their vehicle.
Well, with Rika said, I thought these guys would be strong, but they're not that bad.
That's just how strong we club members are! Not being afraid is probably the secret to strength. Sis's club activities are practically training you to get rid of hesitation. If we all fight together, we can win the 6-on-6 battle. If any one of us wasn't here, they'd beat us easily. We'd end up dead. If my friends hadn't stayed behind, I would have been killed by now. We can do it. We can make it. The dog Xian took down with her stun gun was starting to wake up.
Doesn't seem that dangerous if they're already waking up.
The ones that we knocked out earlier were already up and chasing us again. We have to get out of here. This isn't the time for me to just be running around. Fine. Let's see what I can do. Rika! Hanyu, I know you still can't believe in hope, just like always. Stay there and see what my stubbornness can do. I'm going to change this fate. I'm going to do it right here. Let me show you what I'm capable of.
Alright, everyone. We're gonna finish this off. Take down whoever's in front of you. Then we're gonna grab their car and get out of here.
Yes, I'm going to do this.
You go, Rika. Alright, let's go!
On Keiichi's signal, we attacked 6 of the mountain dogs in unison. Time gradually slowed down. I truly felt like I was trying to overcome that impossible wall of time and change my fate. However, time continued to slow even further until it stopped. What's going on? It felt like the film reel of a movie had gotten hung up partway through. Like time itself had come to a standstill. Hanyu? What's this all about? The time has come. What? Why? Wearing a sad expression, Hanyu pointed at Keiichi. I finally noticed something. All my friends had noticed it already, except for Keiichi. Keiichi! What's that floating in front of your chest?
Oh, okay, the snipers. Okay, thank you. What do you mean? Huh? What is this?
Time stopped. Just when Keiichi was about to hit his opponent, he then realized something was floating in front of his heart. It was a metallic silver cone. That was the first thing I could think of. No, Kei!
What? What the hell is this? Is this a bullet?
That's exactly what it was. The bullet had stopped about 15 centimeters away from Keiichi's chest, just before it would enter his body. That's right. Once time starts moving again, it will slam into his chest. In other words, it's too late. Keiichi will immediately die when time starts up again. Who shot me? Those 6 guys didn't have any guns.
Look! Over there by the van! Wait, why is time actually stopped for them?
Satoko pointed the van. Time had completely stopped after all. Well, then how were they talking? Okay. We could see another person standing near the van. There had actually been 7 people inside, not 6. The 7th person was the one who fired the bullet. We hadn't seen her at all. That person is someone we know very well. Yes, it's Takano. It's Takano! She shot the gun! She shot Keiichi! In the frozen world, Takano was smiling, still aiming her gun at Keiichi. Takano had been watching us from the van this whole time. She came out and fired her gun knowing we hadn't seen her at all. I see. I get it now. But it kind of was the bad guy after all. What are we going to do? Hey, can't you try to twist your body to avoid the bullets? Don't be stupid. Time's totally stopped. I can't move at all. Then try moving as soon as it starts. Might make a difference. Wait, how did they know the time is? Everyone was desperate to save Keiichi. However, no matter how hard we thought, we couldn't come up with any ideas to save him from the bullet. We were so desperate that Keiichi started to laugh. I really don't know what's going on, but there's nothing being done. I'm dead the minute time starts moving. Even if I don't die, I won't be of any help to you guys anymore. So listen, just give up on me. You only need to think about taking these guys down and getting inside that van. Never. You can't die. I don't want to lose you. Hanyu. Hanyu. Are you telling me this is my fate? Are you saying there's no way to overcome this? It's okay, Rika. You won't remember this. You won't. No, no. Kei's not going to die. Stop it, me. Let's concentrate on taking them down. I'm sure Keiichi wouldn't want us spending time turning back to him as he falls. See, Mion loves Keiichi more than Reina does. That's exactly how I feel, Reina. Guys, take care of Rika. Get out of here. Contact Coach. They probably killed Oishi. That's why he never showed up. Listen. Promise you'll survive. Promise me. Ichi. Rika, I'm sorry. I'm the one who told you we could change destiny, but I'm gonna have to retire now, okay? It sounded like Takano's laughter, but it was the scariest noise I'd ever heard. Are you ready to let go of your life now? How are people talking when time is standstill? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, I would understand her friends because they're in the bubble, but Hana, we haven't lost just yet. Done watching your life flash before your eyes. The silence suddenly ended, and the clamor of reality returned. An explosive sound hit Keiichi straight in the chest. I watched Keiichi collapse right in front of me. He fell down on his back while his blood splattered everywhere. And after that, he stopped moving. There's no way any of us weren't shocked by that. We tried to take down the foes in front of us, but more came from behind. We tried to struggle as best we could, but there was no way we could win against those adults. I did my best to fight them off, but they pulled my hair, picked me up as if I weighed nothing. I heard everyone's desperate screams of resistance. The comforting, courageous unity we showed right before Keiichi was shot shattered like glass. The debris of that glass lay sadly on the ground. Takano's annoying laughter was still echoing in my ears. Takano to HQ, I've taken care of it. I need what I told you before. I also need someone to clean up the bodies. Send me 5 bags and some water to clean up the area. Understand? She needs 5? My body froze, but time didn't. Takano, laughing, pointed her gun at Mion's head. Hey, are you kidding me? I've always wanted to see the tattoo on your back. I'm going to take a peek at it later. Sure, have a look if you want. It's nothing special. Oh, you don't think I'll find it interesting? Stop! Don't Don't shoot her! Takano shook her head in response to Reina's scream. I have to kill her. She's the leader of your club, so she has to go first. No! Stop! There was a dull noise, followed by Mion's body twitching. We all tried to break free from the men restraining us as Takano calmly shot Mion. However, they were too strong and all we could do was squirm like insects. Takano was enjoying watching us struggle. She then stepped towards Satoko, but Shion started screaming curses at her. My, you want me to be shot before her? You could have stayed alive a few more seconds if you were nice and quiet. Stop it, Shion. Don't agitate her like that. I know why she's doing that. Shion wants us to protect Satoko as long as she can. She's trying to do what Satoshi told her to. Takano didn't care one bit for Shion's feelings. Stepping over Keiichi's body, she approached Shion. I get it now. You killed Satoshi, didn't you? Is that the truth? Sorry, I don't like giving out secrets. No, I'm not telling. Shion's body twitched. That had followed the dull sound of another gunshot. Just 2 dull sounds had stolen away the lively Sumazaki sisters. It didn't add up. I started shaking from fear when it hit me just how easily Takano can take lives. Is that amusing? For you to take away innocent lives? You monster! Oh, so you want to die next? You were going to be the last one if you stayed quiet. Keiichi, Mion, Shion died. The oldest one of us left was Reina. Reina didn't want to see Satoko and me die before she did. So you were the culprit behind this mysterious death. Do you think you're Oyashiro-sama's proxy or something? I'm not a proxy. I'm handing out divine punishment. It's too bad that you're not going to see it. Soon enough, Oyashiro's wrath is going to destroy the whole village. But I'm the one who's going to make it happen. It's my curse. Yes, I'm going to become Oyashiro-sama. I'm going to become something more than human. You'll never understand how I feel. You'll never understand how wonderful it is to become a god. I don't think that's possible. No matter how much you try to become Oyashiro, it won't work. It's just a game for you. You'll never become Oyashiro. I will. The process has already begun. Reina laughed at her. Takano seemed very upset to hear that laugh. What's so funny? It's impossible. Because Oyashiro-sama's already here. Those were Reina's last words. Well, it's your turn now, Satoko. I don't really care if you live or die, to be honest, but you're a living research sample. Tokyo has a bounty on capturing you alive. But it's not very much. My share would run out with just a trip to Europe. If I capture you alive, nothing good will happen to you anyway. They'll probably open up your skull and prob your brain while you're still alive. Besides, I was your friend. I think it might be kinder to shoot you dead right here. Which would you prefer? I can't decide that. Satoko shouted back at her, her eyes filled with tears. Let's do a quiz then. Broccoli or cauliflower? Which one is green? No, broccoli. Why would you answer her? As soon as I heard the dolls, Satoko stopped moving. Takano smiled and said, "Good girl," to what used to be Satoko. Oh, this is really such a lovely, beautiful night. Don't you agree? So you're going to kill me too? Yes, I will kill you. The corpse of the Queen carries the key to mission. You're going to become an ugly political tool far away in Tokyo. And then, the legend of Onigafuchi will finally come to an end. I know how you're planning to kill me. Oh, you do? Let's hear it. I'm not going to say it, but I know. It's Watanagashi. She wants to do the real Watanagashi using my body. I'm sure she's planning to cut open my stomach and pull out my guts. To do that, she'll make me inhale some chemical to put me to sleep. I vaguely remember that part. I guess you already know. Good night, Rika. One of the dogs approached me with the handkerchief soaked in a chemical substance. Wait a minute, Takano. Everyone's dead, but you're begging for your life? That's not it. If you're going to kill me, do it without putting me to sleep.
Why? Does she want to remember?
Kano hadn't expected to hear that. No, even though she was surprised, she nodded with a slight smile. Hanyu was also surprised to hear that. It would obviously be a terrible way to die.
What are you thinking? Wouldn't you prefer an easy and painless death? You know it's going to be horrible, right? I'm going to cut up your stomach when you're still alive.
I don't want to forget. Yes, I'm doing it so I'll remember. I'm not going to forget it. The picture of you cutting open my stomach will forever be burned into my soul. I'm never going to forget that. Next time I see you, I'll remember that you did this to me.
What are you cooking up in your little head? I guess you're smarter than the other kids. At least you'd get to have a chance to scream for your life. I'm not going to let you do that, though.
They forced something other than the handkerchief inside my mouth. It was a gag. With that in, I couldn't close my mouth, leading my saliva to start overflowing. Soon another van arrived. More mountain dogs came out of it. They had probably come to get rid of the bodies. They grabbed the corpses of my friends and stuffed them into the body bags.
Okay, seriously, if 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people go missing, I'm pretty sure that's, especially if it's 2 of the Sonozakis, I feel like that is dangerous.
They grabbed the corpses of my friends and stuffed them into body bags. After that, they sprayed a bunch of water on the ground to clean up the blood. They asked Takano how many shots she fired and started looking for the bullets. They were erasing all the evidence. By the time the night was over, there'd be no more proof left. They pulled my hands behind my back and bound them with handcuffs. My ankles were tied too. They also tied my ankles and wrists together. My body was bent like a shrimp, and I was no longer able to walk. My mouth was covered, so I couldn't even talk. I couldn't move, talk, express myself in any other way. They had taken away everything that made me human. Therefore, I wasn't human anymore. I was just a toy named Rika. A toy to give Takano joy. The car started moving. It seemed we were going back the way we came, but I didn't care anymore. As the time of my death approached, some of my forgotten memories came back to me. That's right. I was killed like this so many times. Every time I repeated my life, Takano got pleasure out of killing me. Somebody rubbed my head. Were they trying to comfort me? I shook my head to refuse. They laughed at me as I did so. Rika, Rika! Hanyu showed up. She couldn't hold back her devastated tears. Again. It didn't work. It didn't work. Again. When I saw Hanyu's painful tears, I was convinced. I was wrong. Hanyu's not just a bystander. She's just too scared to face reality because she can't stand the pain anymore. Hanyu wants a happy future too. But her hopes were betrayed countless times. And she was hurt far too much. For some reason, seeing her sorrowful expression calmed me down. Perhaps Hanyu was crying in my place. It's okay, Hanyu. We did what we could. We worked very hard. We were getting so close to changing our fate for real. It still didn't work, but for some reason, I feel satisfied. I've never fought this hard in my life. I've never learned so many things. Because I can repeat my life endlessly, I've been taking each one for granted. But everyone else is taking their lives seriously. I wasn't learning anything because I wasn't doing that. But finally I understand. I learned something from this life, and I put all my effort into it. So, I'm sad I didn't make it. But I feel satisfied just the same. It's a strange kind of satisfaction. I wonder how many of these memories I can keep. I get the sense I'm going to lose my memory of this evening. If that's the case, I will lose my memory of seeing Takano's face. I finally found out Takano's the mastermind. Am I going to repeat the same world again, not knowing the truth? She killed my friends as if she were killing bugs. I don't want to forget that. No matter how hard my death will be, I need to remember her face. Hanyu, I'm not going to give up. I don't care if I can't recall this memory. I'll continue to live my life. I don't care. I don't care if I can only live in this June, and then I'll eventually only be able to go back to the night of the Minagoroshi. If that's my life, so be it. I'm not going to forget either. If you don't remember, I'll tell you the truth. Hanyu, I knew it. You acted like an unfeeling bystander, but that's because you were afraid of the pain. I also want to have a happy future with everyone. Hanyu started to cry like a baby. She's so stupid. She decided to abandon hope because she didn't want to deal with the sadness that she always felt on this night. But she ended up hurt and devastated anyway. Hanyu, are you happy that this world is ending? Just like you predicted? I decided not to ask her such an unpleasant question. The car stopped and 2 men pulled me out of the vehicle. We'd returned to the Furude shrine. There were several men waiting in front of the offertory box. Nearby, there were countless sharp knives laid on the ground.
Wait, they do this at the shrine? I mean, I guess it's the middle of the night. There's probably not anybody there, but seriously.
I'm going to cut open my stomach with those tools and pull up my intestines. I took off all my clothes. I left the gag inside my mouth and the handcuffs around my wrists. I wasn't embarrassed to be naked in front of them. Rather, I was just furious that Takano was getting joy out of doing this to me. Don't forget this humiliation. The pain I'm about to experience should be carved into my soul forever. I'm not going to forget this. Everyone worked together. We finally revealed who was behind it all. If I forget this, my friends' efforts, deaths will have been in vain. I need to stay alive as long as I can, so that I'll remember. Hanyu, don't look away. You have to watch. Remember. Oh. Is this really the only way I can help you? Is this all I can do because I can't touch or talk at anyone? It's okay, it's enough. If you continue to stare at me, I can endure this pain. Hanyu nodded and sat right next to me while continuing to cry. We then looked up at the night sky together. The moon was shining brightly, as if taking pity on me. I also looked at the faces of my murderers. That beautiful moon was gradually stained red. It was getting cold. So painful. I'm consumed with fear of not being able to do anything about this. But Hanyu is right next to me. That gives me comfort. It's not just Hanyu. Everyone is here with me. Everyone is there watching me, so I can stand this torture. That's why it wasn't painful. I didn't struggle. I didn't care about Takano's crazy laughter. This was such a wonderful world. We didn't overcome this fate, but I have no regrets. Of course, I'm still sad. I'm disappointed. My future was right in front of my eyes. My hand could almost reach it. Even so, we did what we could. I have to be proud of myself. Keiichi voiced his disagreement. He still felt we could have done more. We were almost there. We almost defeated this fate. We didn't win, but not because our enemies were strong. We didn't win because we didn't try hard enough. But all of you worked so hard together. I was watching. I saw the whole thing.
But it wasn't enough. If we had a will strong enough to overcome this fate, we should have created a miracle.
That's right. A miracle will happen if everyone believes it.
Toko, Rika, and everyone worked so hard.
I'm sorry, Rika. You were brave enough to ask for help, but I couldn't save you.
Satoko held my shoulder and cried.
That's true. Everyone worked so hard, but it still didn't work. Thank you. Thank you all so much. I'm going to die again, but I've never felt so good about it. I've learned so many things in this world. Rika! I know why the miracle didn't happen in this world.
Reina spoke gently, but she wasn't smiling at all.
Hey, did everyone really believe we could create a miracle? If you're hoping for a future, but not everyone believes it, then a miracle won't happen.
What are you saying, Reina? We were united. No one had doubts that we could overcome this fate. Right, Mion? She's talking about Hanyu. Yeah, he's right, Reina. Everyone thought we could overcome it. Everyone believed we could.
That's quite true. Even Rika believed it. She finally believed with our help she could change destiny.
I believed it too. But I think there was someone who didn't believe.
Who is that?
Who can it be?
Hey, you!
Reina turned to Hanyu to ask her a question. I can't tell if this is in her mind or yeah.
Did you believe? Did you believe we could overcome this fate? Even if you can't talk to us or touch us, you can still believe. If you'd believed in us, the miracle would have happened. Would something have really changed if I believed? I'm a powerless existence. I can't do anything. All I can do is watch and accept. You're saying I could have made a miracle happen just by believing?
Yeah, you could have.
Keiichi stated it clearly. He wasn't trying to blame her, he was just stating the truth. That's right! There were 6 of us, and there were 7 of them. If you'd believed with us, we would have numbered 7 souls. The miracles could have happened. You don't make miracles happen by touching something or saying something. You make them by believing. Hanyu realized that this ending wasn't caused by fate. It was because she didn't believe. In other words, this happened because she was so weak as to accept this fate. She started crying again. We don't even know your name. But you still needed to be brave enough to fight this fear and pain. You needed to have courage. If you'd believed, we'd be moving on to a bright future. If your refusal to believe in it is the sole reason we couldn't reach it, then the responsibility is yours. It was hard to believe Reina could say something so harsh. The words were piercing Hanyu's heart, but those words were necessary for me and for her. Only faith can create a miracle. That sounds like something you might hear in a fairy tale. It's not easy to put into action. People suspect others. They don't trust others. It's easier to not have hope. It's so difficult to believe. That's why faith can make miracles happen. Don't you realize I can't even touch people? Don't you realize I can't even speak to them? You still think I can make a miracle happen just by believing? Listen, you're talking to me right now. I've never talked to you before, but I always knew you were there. I was always thinking about how I could communicate with you. I always knew you were watching when we were having fun and hanging out together. But even if I want to be involved, you guys can't see me or hear my voice. You'll think I'm a monster or something. I don't want people to think of me as a monster. Ooh. Screenshot. We never think of you that way. If you're with us, you're a friend. He looks incredibly skinny there. He looks like... Yeah, we wouldn't call a friend a monster. If your heart determines whether you're a monster or not. Right, Shion? I guess I'm more like a monster in that sense. You won't call me a monster, even though I have horns on my head? We won't call you that because of the way you look. You're actually cute, you know? I don't know how many more are gonna pop up. Watch out for Reina. She might try and take you home. I realized then I was standing with everyone looking down at my own body. I see. I'm finally dead. I looked at my bloody body by my feet. It had set me Takana was still enjoying the torture, but the body that remained was nothing but a shell. Are you okay, Rika? Meep. Don't you think it's a bit strange to ask that question to a dead person? Everyone smiled wryly. It's my first time feeling so much love in death. Everyone is already dead. That's why I feel so happy to join them. Suddenly, the world got darker, and my body started to sink downward. I could feel myself disappearing. I still had the sensation of my friend's hands on mine. Let's go, everyone. Yeah! You're also one of us. Come on, stop crying and let's go! Oh. Even though they're all dead, it's really sad, but... My vision had gone dark, but somehow I could still see. Reina offered her hand to Hanyu, and Hanyu slowly took it. Hanyu, I don't know what sad experiences you had before we met, but I'm sure my friends will accept you. Is it still gonna be fun if I'm involved? Are you sure they'll accept me? Yes, so come along. Reina touched Hanyu's hand. It felt like everyone else laid their hands on top too. If only they had hands to do so. Let's go, Hanyu. Let's accept this sorrow, so we can embrace joy as well. Believe in the bright future that's waiting for us. The miracle will happen. We will obtain it, okay? Hanyu said with a definite nod. What's outside of the well? Is it something worth fighting for? Outside of the well. Is it something worth getting hurt for? What's outside of the well? I'm going to fight and get hurt in order to find that out. I'm sure what's waiting is a beautiful world. Even if I get to the bottom of the well again, the key to the new world is my willingness to get out of here. Even if I can't get out, I'll eventually get to the new world.